It was really exciting because, it's neat new technology, and the drone was pretty incredible with all the different things that it could do.
It was kind of a no-brainer for me to just take that next step and see how we could apply drone technology in the GPS world that we were operating in right now.
Our cropping systems are typically wheat-based. Within those cropping systems, we have both broadleaf and grassy weeds. However, the most problematic weeds for us to control in wheat are grassy weeds. Ideally, we would build a weed management program that would specifically target which weeds are present in our field and target them when and where they're at and at the time where they are most vulnerable to control.
In a nutshell, that means that we're not going to be blanket coveraging whole fields. It's going to be pinpointing individual weeds. It would be a huge economic benefit from a standpoint of cost savings at herbicide, plus then there and again, you're not putting that much more herbicide, pesticide, chemicals, fertilizers on the soil. So it's there and again, that would be a fantastic win for everybody.
So technology's already come a long way. With our GPS spraying systems, we are able to go out and really reduce overlap out in the field, or have auto boom shut off technology where only a few nozzles spray at a time as you get and come into like a triangle area that you've already sprayed. The challenge is right now we're still just broadcasting the same rate across the entire field for coverage. And so the next step really is spot treating those areas in the field, if this drone will allow us to identify where those spots are and communicate through the computer system on the sprayer where to spray.
We're losing our good farmland. At the same time, the world population is growing. We got to produce more with less, essentially. So we need to keep our soils fertile. We need to keep our erosion rates down, and that fertilizer needs to grow that crop, and we don't want it out of place in the Clearwater River. So all this technology can kind of help fill that gap and make them more profitable, potentially higher yields. And less input costs. And if you're a grower, that's what you're trying to do. You're trying to maximize your profitability per acre.
We first started discussing the drone and working with the county on figuring out what we needed, and this grant opportunity with the Natural Resource Conservation Service is an annual grant. It's called the Conservation Innovation Grant Program.
The Conservation Innovation Grants funds new approaches, new technology, new ways of doing things, mainly for conservation. I think throughout all the projects that get funded, a lot of them have advanced technologies and really done a lot of good. The CIGs is trying to get it at the inception where it's unknown, and we pay someone to try something, and then we learn in the process, or the agency learns in the process, and if it is successful and becomes commonplace and adapted, that's the goal. But if it doesn't, at least we tried something and we know.
Well, I was glad I was able to help. That's all the important thing, and I just look forward to these projects in the future because I think they're a great collaborative project. Without partners involved in this project, nothing like this drone purchase could ever be accomplished. That's what this project is about. That's what collaboration brings. I can't believe how fortunate we are here in this county to have such sharp individual people working on our behalf.
We're on the leading edge of this, and that's part of the reason why we qualified for the grant. We set it up, the drone flew it over, we processed the data, and it just can't pick out the weeds that I want from my crop field in this circumstance yet. But I know they'll go back into the lab, they'll go back and fix the technology, continue to tweak it, and hopefully at some point this will be able to deliver the end result that we're looking for.
The end goal of it is to know if it's going to work or not. And sometimes you win, sometimes you don't, but you've got to have the glass half full and have a program that lets people try things.
An additional benefit from projects like this is that it helps familiarize the key players on the ground with the realities of what it takes to use these new technologies in the field. so that as a more out-of-the-box, ready-to-use application for the technology comes online, this familiarity will help new practice adoption be smoother, easier, and more efficient when and where they become available.
Looking back, I'd do it again in a minute. I mean, because to me, these are the types of projects that are very worthwhile, and they're worth putting the upfront cost and the energy into, because it's an environmentally sound type of project. It benefits society, it benefits farmers, it benefits my bottom line. I mean, it's just a win-win for everybody.
It helps everybody. What I can tell you is, as a county commissioner, working with Lynn and her group at the Soil and Water Conservation District and our other partners, if we can find another collaborative project like this through the USDA that further expands the technology both in the county and for the farming community, it helps everybody.
Having the resources and the financial support from NRCS through these grants and whatnot is going to make a lasting change in agriculture moving forward.